Mr. Furby? In red and black on the top. I don't know that you're looking at her legs. Okay. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, no. That's okay, certainly. I know. The irony, right?
Nope, the dolphin got the message
All three of you seem to have the same issue.
already in the past.
I knew she wore jeans, she's smart.
Now,
All right, call this meeting to order. We'll start with the reading of our mission statement. New Philadelphia City Schools will provide all students the opportunity to achieve their highest potential to become educated, self-sufficient, and responsible citizens. We are committed to providing every student a diverse, quality education within a safe and secure environment through a dedicated, innovative, and highly qualified staff in partnership with parents and the community at large. Say the pledge to the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right.
Mr. France,
present.
Dr. Fuller,
Here.
Mr. Galantine,
Present.
Mr. McMath,
Here.
Mr. Weaver.
Here.
We have a quorum.
I do have a motion to accept the agenda for our board meeting tonight.
So moved.
Mr. France,
Second.
are there any additions or deletions? Oh, call the roll.
Mr. France,
Yes.
Dr. Fuller,
Yes.
Mr. Galantine.
Yes.
Mr. McMath,
Yes.
Yes.
I have a motion to approve the minutes of the organizational meeting and regular meeting, both dated January 10th, 2023, and the work session dated January 23rd, 2023.
So moved.
Mr. Weaver,
Oh, I'll second.
Mr. Galantine. Any changes or anything, questions? Call the roll.
Mr. Weaver.
Yes.
Mr. Galantine. Mr. France.
Yes.
Dr. Fuller,
Yes.
Mr. McMath,
Yes.
motion carries.
Recognition.
Unfortunately, he is not here tonight, but I still want to take a minute and recognize Elijah Forrest. He was named the Buckeye Career Center Student of the Month last month, demonstrating the core value of critical thinking. So pretty neat thing that one of our students was named the Student of the Month at Buckeye, and we wanted to recognize him here as well. So we will make sure that we get this to him.
Very good. All right, building spotlight, we don't see the Delphine crowd here tonight.
Yeah, she confirmed that they were coming, so.
All right, we'll go on. If they come up, if they come, we'll stop and hopefully they'll come. Public participation, Julie?
Jen Flaherty.
Jennifer Flaherty.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Flaherty. I live at 320 Madison Street, and that is in Dover. I come to you tonight as a community person. I am the president of Challenger Baseball, and we have some events coming up that I wanted the school districts to know about. So March is Disability Month. I don't know if you know that or not. We have some things planned for the month of March. Is it okay if I approach?
Sure.
I brought some flyers with me of some things that are going on. Hopefully you guys can make it to them. Philly students will be participating. Any student in Tuscarawas County is welcome to participate also. The first paper you have is we're putting on a Tusk Has Talent show. So they will come Saturday on March 13th to do a tryout and get their golden ticket then to come to do the show on Saturday, March the 18th. We're looking for 20 acts. People that will be doing the acts are adults and children with a disability, cognitive or physical disability. We're encouraging parents and bystanders and community people and everybody to come out and cheer these kids on. So that is the first thing that we have planned. And then the second thing we have planned, it's called Unseen. It's a documentary of families that take care of their adult and children that have to stay at home that have disabilities. It is a amazing documentary movie. It's 45 minutes long. It gives you an inside look at some of the struggles and things that families have with disabilities. We are partnering with the Board of DD, Starlight Enterprises, and Buckeye School on that. It is March the 23rd, that's a Thursday night. We're gonna welcome in anybody that wants to come and see it. We'll have a resource fair of some things that in our community for people with disabilities. And then we're going to serve you a light dinner from Hog Heaven. And then you're gonna watch the 45-minute show. We do have respite available, but only for people with the disability, cognitive or physical disability for that respite. So that parent could come and watch it, or that community person could come watch it, and we'll take care of it. In that room are what they call SSAs. I'm gonna call it like a caseworker that works for MRDD. So they're all background checked and have experience and all that kind of stuff. And then during that movie, after that movie's over, we're gonna talk about if anybody has any questions, because there's some statistics that are on that paper, but what's happening is our community, just not here in Tuscarawas County, but all over the place, are failing parents with special needs. We're not being able to meet their needs. Yes, they come and they're at school with you for 6 hours a day, but then they come home and they be with their parents the rest of the day. Sometimes families feel isolated or feel alone, that they're the only ones doing this. So we're trying to build this community up by helping support other families, and hopefully this will be an eye-opener to some people, some of the struggles. Talking as a special needs parent, we're never looking for all poor Jennifer, we're looking for empathy, for understanding. That's what we want. There is a trailer on YouTube. It's Unseen, the documentary. Now, this is a little PSA. There is an unseen scary movie about somebody that kills people. That's not the movie we're gonna show. Keep looking down on the, and you scroll to look at it. But it's an hour and 34-minute trailer if you wanna watch it. It's amazing. It talks about this man that, one story real quick. He talks about this man that his son gets in a lot of behaviors at school, so the school calls to come pick him up because he has behaviors. Well, he says, my boss only understands so many times I can go pick my son up from school until I get fired. The guy ends up getting fired because he has to leave his work so many times. Goes home, finds a job to work at home. Stress at home is so bad, at the age of 30, he has a heart attack because there just aren't any resources. We say it takes a village to raise a kid. Special needs parents, a lot of them don't have that village. So that's what we want to do. We really want to try to open that up. That link that we're getting, we had to pay for it because it's not on Netflix or HBO or anything like that. It's a private person that did that. So we have it for a whole year. I was able to raise the $5,000 so that we could have that link for a whole year. So we have gone to a special ed coordinators meeting and shared it with a special ed coordinators meeting and asked them to ask you guys to have it in service one time and show that 45-minute meeting to everybody at the school, just to help gen ed teachers, special ed teachers kind of understand some of the things we're going through. You might be at school and see a kid wearing a Superman shirt every day of the week and somebody think, God, he only wears that Superman shirt. I'm at home washing that Superman shirt, putting him back on it, and sending him to school, so neither one of us have a meltdown. So it's just some in look at us, and I'm going around to the different schools and councils and just sharing and seeing if if you guys are interested in coming, we'd love to have you. If you want the link for an in-service, I was gonna call you Wendy, I don't know why, Amy, we would love to share it with you. If you want it just for your board to have it, I would love to share that too. But we don't get it till March 1st, and then we have it for a whole year.
Great, yeah, please send that along.
Yes, we will definitely be on special ed coordinators to be on you guys to try to get that in August for you to see.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right, treasurer's report.
In your folder, I have the financial report, the key indicator, the cash flow, the check register, QDA financials and QPA financials, and also the bank reconciliation reconciled to the penny. So if you would review all of those, I'd appreciate it. You've got the MasterCard points and limits. That is required by the Auditor of State now. And you have the monthly vitality report. And I've been sending emails out for VHR. It's that time of year where we need to get everybody, get their VHR completed so we get the 1% discount on our health insurance. I also have the Kennedy Insurance liability invoice in your folder. This is an increase of about 11%, and the increase is directly related to identity theft services and e-services and things like that that are just, I mean, we're required to have it now, so that's what's causing that rise. We have a donation of 11,000, and 10,000 from Great All, and 1,000 from the Quaker Club. Those both went to Project Lead the Way. And then I have amended appropriations. Most of the amended appropriations tonight are because of our final federal allocations and the amended certificates as well. I'm also asking you to approve an advance to from the general fund to the permanent improvement fund of $390,000. That is to cover the building purchase, and then once we get our tax settlement, I will move that money back. So that will go right back to the general fund, probably within the next 6 weeks. And the last is a transfer from the general fund to the safety grant fund. It was just slightly overspent due to shipping, and that's a final transfer.
Do I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
I'll move.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Weaver? Any questions, comments? Nope. All right, call the roll.
Mr. Galantine?
Yes.
Mr. Weaver?
Yes.
Mr. France?
Yes.
Dr. Fuller? Mr. McMath?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, it looks like our Delphine crowd's here.
Before they say, just let me say, first of all, I'm sorry we're late.
No worries.
I didn't double check the board meeting times, so that's entirely my fault. This is one of our groups that has been delivering today Valentine's to the schools and the community. Today we delivered 52 Valentines. Tomorrow we're looking at about 160 to deliver, so it's gonna be a fun day. But this is one of our groups. Would you all introduce yourselves, please?
I'm Kyla Winters. I'm a senior. I'm Jordan Weiss. I'm a senior.
I'm Maddie Van, I'm a senior.
I'm Madison Scott. I'm a senior. I'm Brooke Corbin, and I'm a senior.
Well, thanks for coming.
Of course.
And you still have a voice left.
We have a special delivery. Let me call you sweetheart. I'm in love with you. Let me hear you whisper that you love me too. Keep the love light glowing in your eyes so true. Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you. Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you, with love from all of us.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Very nice.
Great job. Thank you.
Thanks.
I just want to say, this is February 13th. This is officially Galentine's Day. Just mentioning that. For
coming.
Thank you.
I support you in that endeavor.
Thank you, my friend. I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
In principle only, not financially.
If I remember, one of my classes from Mr. France may have been a member of it, went around the town and put G's over the V's in all the stores one year, back about 30 years ago. And I got phone calls from stores. And wait a minute, how come these G's are? And I said, because it's Galentine's Day. Special.
My mother and I would have never went into La Fountain's department store and that back in the early 80s, just for the record.
It was, my friend. Good times, good times.
Indeed.
Trista, please share our gratitude to them for coming. They were really good. I'm sure they're probably hearing that in their sleep, that song, right? After what, 200 times singing that? Amazing. All right. Mrs. Ryan?
Personnel, I want to start and just acknowledge the 3 retirements that are on the agenda. All 3 of these ladies have been working in our district for quite some time. Teresa Laver and Nancy George will both be retiring at the end of May, at the end of the school year. And Peggy Marshall in the treasurer's office will be retiring the end of July. So between the 3 of them, there's a lot of years of dedication and service to our Quakers. So I want to acknowledge that. We also have some resignations. Along with that, we have some hiring. So that's always exciting. Including a bus driver, bringing a bus driver on board to replace the bus driver that is resigning. So unlike some districts who just can't find anybody, at least we're staying even there. We are hiring our all-star teachers. That is our 3rd grade after-school tutoring to help prepare those students for their testing in the spring. Some supplementals. We have 3 more teachers to add to our substitute teacher list, as well as a couple for our bus aides and bus drivers, and some volunteers and interns as well. So with that, I would for a motion.
So moved.
Mr. France, second.
Second.
Dr. Fuller? Any questions?
There are 2 ladies on this list, Mrs. George and Mrs. Mushrush. They were the first people in this district that believed my son could learn, could grow. And I won't ever forget that. And I thought it merited some recognition this evening that there's something to be said about that. And they're not the only ones. They're not the only ones that go a little bit beyond what can reasonably be expected to make sure that every child has an opportunity simply to learn and not to just put a kid in a corner or in a special room or whatever, the default may be or may have been, but to believe that a child can learn. And I know that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I believe that's why we're all here. Everybody in this room this evening, I would suggest, is here because of that. But without a question, those 2 ladies, those were the people that got us started for Zachary. So.
It will definitely be nice.
Very nice.
Sure.
Anyone else?
Nope.
Mr. France?
Yes.
Dr. Fuller?
Yes.
Mr. Galantine?
Yes.
Mr. Math?
Yes.
Mr. Weaver?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Committee reports.
Just draw your attention to the minutes from the Business Advisory Council. They have met since we met last. Continue to look for ways to form partnerships between the local school districts and the businesses in the area. Facilities Committee, leave it to
Yeah.
you for report.
Our maintenance building is purchased, right?
The parcel that has the building is purchased. We have the extra pieces, the extra acreage. And right now, what they're working on is the surveyor found a third parcel.
Oh.
So they're doing an amendment and we're working on getting that closed. But I would expect that to close within the next 2 weeks.
And I know that Mr. Haney and his team are working on prepping the building, getting it ready for moving in, as well as preparing the Angle property on the south side and kind of finishing up that. I know if I'm correct, I think the print, the ink and everything has been removed.
It's sitting there right now.
Oh, it's still there?
Yes, it was there when I came up this evening, and safety transport bags, it's
Oh, okay.
Prepared to move.
it's
Be prepared.
been put into containers to get off our property.
Okay, great.
And that auction will be the end of March.
Oh, I should have spoke to that. The auction for the triangle will be March 30th. Currently, that's the plan. The closing, that's an on-site auction that evening. Closing will be approximately April 25th, I think, is that following Thursday. And then May 25th is possession, and that gives us time to get everything out of there. April 27th and May 25th.
And the Phase 3 project, which is going to require some cooperation from a friend, Mr. Furby, as well as Mrs. Pruka. They're going to be the most impacted outside of our athletic folks, but I think Jeff's probably the most impacted by that whole thing, that basically that whole wing of the school is going to have to be shut down from about 3.5 minutes after the kids leave on the last day until 24 hours before we start school in August. And just so everybody's aware and you're not shocked by it, I mean, it's going to require Jeff to vacate the band room, and it's going to require us to relocate volleyball and basketball, and there will be people that are disappointed, but we need to look past the hurdles and to the finish line and how nice it's going to be when we're done. I think the biggest impact it's going to have on the community is that at some point, they're going to have to, from what I understand, shut down Ray Avenue to put the heating and cooling units on the roof of the gym. It'll require a couple of rather large overhead cranes, and so however that goes down, stuff to come over the summer break.
And at the end of the project, we're going to have air conditioning in our gym.
It's gonna be
and in our
terrific.
band room and in our choir room, and that's going to be hopefully well worth the sacrifices. That's right. Gotta look at what's coming.
Get it cool, right?
You're willing to make that compromise.
Yep. First time I was told there'd be air in the band room was 1994. So, I'm in.
Still.
No, there was never. We moved in 93, and in 94, they were like, hey, we're gonna put air in here. 2 thumbs up. So kudos to you guys for
Awesome.
following through with that.
Great. All right. Mr. Williams.
Very excited about letter A, the course guide changes regarding science. A standard science track in high school starts with physical science as freshmen, biology to chemistry, okay? I can say this honestly after being around a lot of curriculum directors in our county and outside our county. New Philadelphia High School offers so many amazing accelerated college, AP, fun science stuff that a lot of our kids were not having a chance to get to, because if following that standard track, you only get 1 year to take those fun sciences, physiology, what am I missing? Forensics, anatomy. Yeah, so our science teachers came to me, came to Mrs. Claxton and wanted to see about how can we get more kids to get their high school stuff early, right? We accelerate math, we accelerate language arts. So accelerating science is difficult because it builds on itself K through 8. But what we discovered was to graduate, you only need 1 physical science, which chemistry can be. So a prereq for getting into chemistry is Algebra 1 CP. We currently have 25 eighth graders and 25 eighth graders taking Algebra 1 CP and 5 taking geometry already. So what we have offered, and this is why the changes need to be made, is for those kids to skip physical science and go straight to chemistry next year as freshmen. And so that'll take away 1 year of that track, give them more time. They can also double up chemistry with bio and have 3 years to play with all those fun things. So for future doctors, for future scientists, for just kids who love science, this is going to be a really big, cool thing for them to do. So some of the changes in the packet are just the prereqs, some of the prereq changes we needed to make to make this happen.
Yeah, we just made a statement on our biology and our chemistry to include teacher recommendation.
Yeah.
So it would allow that to bypass based on those teachers making that recommendation for those particular schools.
And we had our meeting today. Mrs. Pry and Mr. Homard were instrumental in kind of getting this moving. So we met with them, Mrs. Pilato, our gifted coordinator. We met with those eighth graders today. And the smiles, I mean, they were just so excited already. Some of them looked scared to death when we were telling them, just diving in, right? But smiles on all their faces. So we're very excited about this opportunity to, once again, bypass physical science, get in that chemistry, and get some of these kids to take some of these really cool classes that we teach at our high school. So that's the science changes for next year. Okay. Any questions on that aspect of it? Okay. The only other thing with January PD Day, that was our third professional development day of the year, third and final. It was a great day of same thing as we've done with collaboration. There's 2 people I just wanted to kind of shout out during the board meeting for. Mrs. Shimko, one of our intervention specialists, stepped up, came to me. She asked me if she could lead some PD on cooperative teaching, co-teaching with intervention specialists and teachers, and led a great session, great feedback for her. So I just wanted to really thank her for in front of you guys. And Jennifer Horner came to me. Orbis Campbell, sheriff, had come to us beginning of the year and done some initial safety training. Officer Horner came to me and said she wanted to do training from the PD perspective, police department perspective. And she was very well received, went to each building and just kind of talked. So both of them, I think, deserve a lot of credit for stepping up, wanting to do this. And Officer Horner had to come back off of her. She's still on leave for medical reasons. So I was very pleased with those 2. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that.
Very good.
Oh, and I got 2 already. You should have a conflict of interest form. This is different than your QDA, QPA conflict of interest. This is conflict of interest for New Philadelphia City Schools. We need this for our title review that we'll be going through in a week. So I need that at the end of the meeting, please. Okay. If you have any questions on it, just ask.
I think the 3 of ours are here for you.
Well, Julie can just keep them if by her, because they're going to her and Lori Hall, so. Okay, that's it.
All right, I have several things.
Changes?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we probably should vote on the course changes.
Okay, do I have a motion to, all right, Mr. France? Second?
I'll second.
Mr. Allen. Call the roll.
Mr. France?
Yes.
Mr. Galantine? Dr. Fuller?
Yes.
Mr. McMath?
Yes.
Mr. Weaver?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, now we'll move on. We do have the second reading and adoption of the 2 board policies as listed in the agenda. Would like to ask to approve a resolution authorizing membership in OHSAA for the 2023-2024 school year. It's that time of year where we approve MOUs for our students to take College Credit Plus classes at various universities. Stark State College, University of Akron, and Kent State University are all on the agenda for this month. I'd like to ask you to approve the non-routine field trip to Europe for the summer of 2025. Mrs. Jenkins is trying to put together a trip to have students go visit World War II sites. Approve the contract with Allerton Hill Communications, and approve the non-routine field trip to New York City for the band in April of 2024. They will be going to the Festival of States concert performance at the Lincoln Center Plaza. Mr. Furby is here, if you have any specific questions about that. Get a motion first, and then, are there any questions?
So moved.
Mr. France, a second?
Okay. Mr. Weaver made the.
Okay. Chris?
But I won't second Chris's motion.
I've been called worse.
I appreciate the compliment.
Are there any questions
Any questions?
for myself or for Mr. Furby?
Thanks for leading that. Those are good experiences. It's awesome. Absolutely.
Definitely.
All right, call the roll.
Mr. Weaver?
Yes.
Mr. France?
Yes.
Dr. Fuller?
Yes.
Mr. Galantine?
Yes.
Mr. McMath?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, very good. And Dr. Fuller?
So move.
Good, Darren. Very good.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.